The term pollution refers to any undesirable changes in either physical, chemical, or biological characteristics of the environment caused by our own activities. Non-biodegradable pollutants. Most of the pollutants remain as a residue in the environment for a long time and may increase in concentration. Example, lead vapors released from diesel combustion, when inhaled, accumulate in the lungs over a period of time. A pond near an agricultural farm can accumulate insecticides like DDT. The coal combustion causing air pollution. Several industries use coal as fuel in their furnaces, which emit sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, and small amounts of carbon dioxide, which function as air pollution. Next is the diesel combustion, which is caused by the heavy vehicles. Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide are the main pollutants from diesel combustion. Then comes petrol combustion, used as fuel in most of the motor cars and two-wheelers, which on combustion releases oxides of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and lead vapors. Waste incineration is a common practice of disposing municipal waste or garbages by burning them, releasing carbon dioxide. These are the precautions that need to be taken to avoid pollution. Number 1. Industries to be established away from towns and cities. Emission from industries to be checked and controlled. Regulatory rules related to air pollution must be strictly enforced. Automobiles to be periodically checked to improve the efficiency of engines to minimize the emissions. Users of leaded fuels and biofuels must be encouraged, educating the public to use public transport. Measures of checking air pollution at sources are to be implemented. Acid rain. When the precipitation has a pH less than 5.6, it is described as acid rain. This situation occurs when oxides of sulfur and nitrogen in the atmosphere combine with water vapor and form sulfuric acid, nitric acid respectively. These precipitate as rain, snow, or fog. The main sources of these oxides are combustions of fuel in the industries. Acid rain affects all forms of life. It affects egg production in aquatic animals and hence alters the population ratio. It can affect vegetation since the soil becomes acidic. It leaches the nutrients in soil. The leaves of affected plants develop brown spots and cracks. Acid rain is harmful to human health as well. It causes skin allergies and respiratory problems. Acid rain also affects old buildings and monuments. It damages metals and stone structures. Heat engines. Effects of heat. Heat increases the temperature of the body. Heat expands the body. Heat changes the state of the matter, and the effect of heat is chemical change in the body.
Working of a petrol engine. The inlet valve lets through the vaporized mixture of petrol and air. The outlet valve will be closed and the piston moves away from the spark plug. Compression stroke. Both the valves are closed and the mixture of air and petrol is compressed by the piston moving towards the spark plug.
Green plants and chordates. Kingdom Metaphyta includes the following groups. Group A, non-vascular plants, that is xylem and phloem absent. Under this, first one, multicellular algae. They are, you can see the beautiful pictures of red algae, brown algae and green algae. The second one is bryophytes. Vertebral column. Vertebral column is a structure containing a series of rings like bones called vertebrae arranged one above the other. It is also called as backbone. This is an important part of the skeletal system for supporting the body and providing attachment to the muscles.
These are the external features of a bird. There is a pair of eyes, a beak, which is a bird's horny projecting jaws, Tail feathers. A strong flight feather of a bird's tail. Hind limbs, which are the two back limbs, and wings, which are the modified forelimb that bears large feathers and is used for flying.
Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. First law. Whenever a magnetic field linked with a conductor changes, an induced EMF is generated in the conductor. Second law. The magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic field linked with the conductor. Fleming's right hand rule. If the first three fingers of our right hand is held perpendicular to each other, the forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, the middle finger indicates the direction of the electric current, and thumb indicates the direction of the motion of the conductor. This rule is useful to decide the direction of current since other two parameters are known.
Working of an AC dynamo consists of an armature, which is a rectangular coil of insulated wire ABCD wound over a core of soft iron. Second, slip rings R1, R2. Third, brushes B1, B2. Fourth, permanent magnet north and south. The ends of the armature coil are soldered to the two slip rings. The slip rings press against the carbon brushes, and the carbon brushes are connected to the external circuit lamp L. The armature is mounted between the poles of a powerful magnet. The armature coil is rotated mechanically. As the coil rotates, there will be an induced current in the coil ABCD. This will light up the bulb L. The magnitude of induced current will be different at different locations of the coil. According to the Fleming's right hand rule, the current moves in the direction of ABCD during the first half of the rotation. During the second half of the rotation, the current moves in the direction of DCBA. The current in the external circuit, therefore, flows in one direction for an half cycle and in the opposite direction for the second half cycle. It is therefore an alternating current. The dynamo is called alternating current dynamo. The frequency of the alternating current is the same as the frequency with which armature rotates.
Principles of rocket propulsion. Rocket works on the principle of Newton's third law of principle of conservation of momentum, which states that the total momentum of the system is conserved when the net force acting on the system is zero. During the firing of the rocket, the propellant burns and large amount of gas is pushed out at high velocity. The ejected gas pushes the rocket with a high velocity in the opposite direction, and the rocket acquires an equal momentum. Hence, when the fuel in the rocket is burnt, the exhaust gases escape through a nozzle towards the earth. In reaction, the rocket moves vertically upwards. Principle of rocket propulsion. According to Newton's third law, the principle of conservation of momentum, the total momentum of the system is conserved when the net force acting on the system is zero. The rocket works on the same principle. During the firing of the rocket, the propellant burns and large amount of gas is pushed out at high velocity. The ejected gas pushes the rocket with high velocity in the opposite direction, and the rocket acquires an equal momentum. Hence, when the fuel in the rocket burns, the exhaust gases escape through the nozzle towards the earth, which in reaction to this, the rocket moves vertically upwards.